Okay, welcome everyone. As we learn the Mishna Yomis for this Tuesday evening, finishing the first parak of Makos and starting the second parak of Makos, sponsored by the Fisher family, the Nishmas, Baruch Basia Bas Rabbat, Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain, and Neshama should have an Aliyah. Also sponsored, Lili Nishmas, Dav ben Chaim, Lefu Shalem, for Yomis ben Chai, Sorry, Yaakov ben Bas Yaleah, for the schus of Avram ben Yom ben Ishmael Yudis and family. We are sponsored by Eddie Chazan in loving honor of his Zayda, Rav Yedidiah Toledano, Zichron Livracha, schus Yagan Aleinu, and also for the safety of our soldiers and the recovery of the hostages. We are sponsored by Yoel Klugman and family, and Lefu Shalema for Moshe Meir ben Estefadel, Rivka Bashira Leah, Dvar Bashashabina, and Meir ben Chaya Sarah. Misha Nigmar Dinoi Uvorach. If somebody was convicted and he fled from the court, Ubola Lefnei Oisa Bezdin, and they brought him back to that Bezdin, Ain't Soisim Es Dinoi. They don't have to reopen his case. No, it was the same court, and they already convicted him, so they execute him forthwith. This would be not true if he ran to a different Bezdin that was in Eretz Yisrael, because maybe in the schus of going to Eretz Yisrael, maybe they would find an argument that then they would reconsider his case. Whenever two witnesses get up and say, we testify about this man, that he was convicted in this and this bezdin, and so were his witnesses, we execute him forthwith. Sanhedrin the Sanhedrin can function both in Eretz Yisrael and outside of Eretz Yisrael. The truth of the matter is, Sanhedrin ha'reges echad b'shvua, a Sanhedrin that kills a person, that executes a person more than once in 7 years, nikris choivlonis. It's considered a killing court. Now, because you have to understand, there's so many details. Remember, not only do they have to give asra, but the murder had to happen toich kedei dibur of the asra. And you know, there's so many details that they are interrogated with, and they have to be matching. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah mechad l'shivim shana. It's a killing bezdin if they kill once in 70 years. Reb Tav Rabbi Kiva Imrim ilu hayinu b'Sanhedrin. If we were in the court, lo nerag odam me'olam. No one would ever be executed. Why? So the Rab says they would ask questions like this. They would ask the Adam, did you know if the victim was a treifa? Did you know if he had a fatal flaw that he couldn't live through the year? Because if he did, then you're not chayiv misa for killing him. And how would the witnesses know that? Reb Shimon Gamliel says, well, that's no good. Because if you make it so impossible, then there's no deterrent. Reb Shimon Gamliel, that would cause more murderers to proliferate amongst Klal Yisrael if it was so hard to bring an execution to happen. Now we start the first Mishnah in the second parak. Elu hein hagoyim. We know that if somebody kills unwittingly, b'shageg, he's under certain circumstances, he's exiled to the Ari Miklat, to one of the cities of refuge. Now, one of the things is that the pasuk says that it has to be when it's. We'll see. Let's see it inside. Hahoreg nefesh b'shgaga. One who Eluhen Agailim, the following are exiled. Hahoreg nefesh b'shgaga, somebody who kills someone unwittingly. Hoyamagel b'magila, if he was plastering his roof. The magila is a type of trowel which was circular. That's why it's in a lashon of an ogle, a circle. Vinofla olav, and it fell out of the plasterer's hand. Vaharagatu, and it killed him. So it fell on the way down. or you mishalshel b'chavius. So let's say someone was lowering a bucket, and the bucket slipped out of his hand, v'nafla alav, and fell on someone's head, v'haragatu, and killed him. Or yored b'sulam, somebody was going down a ladder, v'nafa alav, and he slipped off the ladder and fell on someone, v'haragu, harizeh goyla. All three of these cases, the person is exiled, because as we will see, we'll learn out from the pasuk that it's only when he does it in a downward motion. If, however, he was stretching the trowel up, the trowel was he was pushing it up on the roof, and v'nafla alav v'haragatu, and as he was doing an upward motion, it fell on the person. It fell out of his hands when he was doing an upward motion. Or a yedayula b'chavius, or he was pulling up a barrel, v'nifsak hachevel, and the rope split, v'nafla alav v'haragatu, and it fell on the person and killed him. Or a ya'ayla b'sulam, he was climbing up the ladder, and he fell, v'nafla alav, harizeh eina goyla. That's Xeris HaKasav, that since he was doing an upward motion, and it happened from an upward motion, there is no exile to the city of refuge. Ze'aklal, kol shebederech yiridasai goyla. If it's downward, he's exiled. B'shalaik b'derech yiridasai. But if it's not while occupied in a downward motion, eina goyla, he's not exiled. Now, Nishmat habarzel mikatoi v'horag. If a person was chopping wood, and the axe, the blade, slipped from the axe, flew out, v'horag, and killed someone. Rebbe Yomer eina goyla. Rebbe says he doesn't go into exile. V'chachamim oimrim goyla. The chacham say he does go into exile. Very interesting. Mino eitz hamisbakeya. If he was chopping wood and a splinter shoots out from the wood that he's chopping and kills someone, Rabbi Yomer goyla. Rabbi says he's exiled. V'chachamim oimrim eina goyla. So what happens over here is they're arguing in the meaning of the pasuk. Right, the pasuk says. Let me just get the language of the pasuk. The pasuk says, "V'noshal habarzel min ha'etz," and the iron slips from the wood. So the Rebbe learns that it means that the iron causes the wood to shoot out, a splinter from the wood to shoot out. Ze'itzam is bakeya. The Rabbanan hold v'noshal abazel min ha'etz means if the blade slips off the axe. That's how they learn it. So according to the Rabbanan, if the blade slips off the axe and it kills someone, he's exiled. But if a wood shoots out when he's chopping, that's already closer to an einus, and he's not exiled. While according to Rebbe, it's the reverse. We'll stop over here, Rabbi Isai. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a delightful evening.